welcome to Definitely Not Funny. Actually, the least funny person I know. Good morning. Welcome back to Definitely Not Funny, Season 2. I'm so excited. The sun is shining. The tank is clean. And you know what? It's a beautiful sunny day. And this is going to be so special because we're fucking back. And I really missed this, you guys. Like, I've missed this a lot. Is that weird? Is that weird to say? Am I coming on too strong? Am I not playing hard to get? I'm really bad at playing hard to get. If you're an original listener, you'll know what I'm talking about. But oh, it's really special to be back. This is funny. So, you know how I was like, season 2, I'm going to like prep the whole thing in advance and have like 15 like great episodes and like really be like ready for it. I have 4 episodes ready. This episode is not ready. This episode I'm recording on Saturday, July 8th. And yeah, that's, oh, Zeke, don't step on my things. Zeke likes to step on my like all my microphone cords. He likes to be precarious with this process. Anyways, how I was like, yeah, I'm going to like prep the whole thing and it's going to be all like put together and whatever. No, absolutely not. That did not happen. Well, some of the episodes happened, which are really great and they're really exciting and those ones are going to be awesome. But this one's just going to be a crapshoot. And I even like, usually when I do solo episodes, I'm like, okay, I'll like plan it out in advance. I'll like write it down. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just fucking go for it? Okay. Why don't I just be reckless and crazy and just go for it? So that's what I'm doing right now. Kind of wild, right? She's crazy. She's a crazy girl. So yeah, as you've probably figured out from this title of this episode, I am leaving Los Angeles. I am going, a lot has happened. Lots has happened in the past few months. And I've decided that I am going to move away from Los Angeles and move to New York. And that is actually happening in less than 2 weeks from now. So that's fucking crazy. I'm not ready whatsoever. Have I done a single thing to prepare, packing, moving, anything? Absolutely not. Do I need to still like figure out how to sell my car? Absolutely. There are so many different steps that have not happened that definitely need to happen. But you know what? This takes priority. So all of those are going put on the back burner. But Jackie, can we ask, why are you moving to New York? I thought you didn't like New York. I thought you said New York was crazy. I did say all these things about New York. So here's my relationship with New York. I grew up in Boston and I have a lot of family in New York. And so I would grow up every year. I would always, like growing up, we would always go to New York at least once a year. And I loved it. It was so fun. And I remember always thinking like, this is where all the magic happens. Like, this is just like the magical place. But I never envisioned myself like living there, if that makes sense. I was just like, this is where the magic happens. And like, whatever. Then in college, the summer after my junior year, I did the New York summer internship track. I worked at Estee Lauder, which was very fun and glamorous, and I got free products. And I lived in a new school dorm. We had a dorm room. There were 4 of us in this dorm room. It had 2 bedrooms. It was like a little apartment style dorm room, but apartment is a very generous term. It had like a little hallway that counted as like the kitchen. And it had a little table with 2 chairs. Maybe it had 4 chairs. Who knows if we were living in luxury. There were no windows, obviously. It had 1 bathroom that had like a shower and a toilet and a sink. And then it had 2 bedrooms. And there were 2 of us in each of those bedrooms. And it was great. It was so fucking fun. And I like constantly say, and it was like I'd wake up every morning, go to a workout class across the street, come back, shower, whatever, get ready, go on the subway, go to work, and then like come back, change, meet up with people for happy hour, go out, go to bed, wake up, do the whole thing again. And then on weekends, it was just go. Like you would leave your apartment and you'd be gone for 14 hours and like, or sometimes you'd be gone for 48 hours. And it was by far the most fun summer of my entire life. However, by the end, I was exhausted. Like I was so spent. I just remember being so tired the whole time and just thinking, I cannot keep up in this city. Like, I absolutely cannot keep up. This is fucking exhausting. But it was really fun. So then I was like, okay, like I'm living in LA after college. Like I thought I was going to live in New York after college, but I was like, I literally can't keep up with this. I'm moving to LA. So I moved to LA after college, and that's where we met. We being me and all of you. It was while I was living in LA post-grad, and I really loved it. I really loved living in LA. But last year I had like a panic moment where I was like, after I did the program at McLean, I was going to move to New York, and I was like, you know what? I just want to leave LA. I just want to kind of start over. I just want to move to New York, yada, yada, yada. Everyone's like, what are you doing? And basically my treatment team actually said not to do that because change, like moving is a big change, obviously, especially moving across the country. And change can cause like OCD and anxiety to really, really come up and flare up. So they were like, don't do that. Why don't you stay in LA for another year, figure it out, and then go from there. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll try it out. And I moved from LA. I was living sort of like, I was kind of living in like a random spot that wasn't really like a destination point. It was just like a random spot in the middle of the city. And then I moved down to the beach, down to like Santa Monica, Venice area. Absolutely loved it. Found like a great community here. Lots of great friends, like lots of fun things to do. Found my favorite places. But I kind of just got stagnant. I think stagnant's the best way to describe it. Where it's like, I love my friends here. I love my friends. I love what we do. I love the places that we're going to. But I just don't feel like I'm growing, if that makes sense. Like I don't feel challenged. I don't feel pushed. I feel like we're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. You know how I feel like at like the end of, I started getting like senioritis, where you're like at the end of high school or at the end of college, where you're just like, okay, like we're going to go to Sigma Chi again. And we're going to do this again with these same people. And it's like, those people are great. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're like, you know what I mean? You're kind of like, okay, this is how it works. And LA, I've also found it challenging. People don't like to like go out and about as much, if that makes sense. Like on weekdays, people stay home in their apartments. That's like very normal. And I do that too. Because it's like, if I want to go see one of my friends who lives in West Hollywood, I'm not going to like drive a fucking hour to go see her and then drive another hour back. Like that's crazy, like on a Tuesday night. But if my friend lived 2 blocks down and there was like a bar we could go to right in between, like I'd go and meet them for a drink. And that's me referencing what happens in New York, at least in my version, what happens in New York. And so I'm kind of like, okay, like I think it would be a little bit more social. There'd be different people I'd be around. And it would force me to grow. It will force me to get out of my comfort zone, try something new, really push myself, really kind of learn how to adapt. And I have a lot of family nearby. I have a lot of places I can go to. I've like just kind of having a home base will feel really nice. And like my grandma's there. She comes into the city all the time. So like, to get to spend time with her will be really, really special. And I don't know. I just think having a different group of people, different things that I'm doing will force me to develop new perspectives and look at things differently. So I think I'm really fucking excited, you guys. Like I'm really, like I already have like FOMO. Like I have a bunch of friends who live there. I'm very popular. No, I just know a lot of people who live in New York, whether that be from family connections or friend connections and like high school, college, post-college, etc. A lot of people have kind of migrated to New York. And so I'm excited. I see them on social media, like all hanging out with each other. And I'm like, oh my God, I literally have FOMO. I cannot wait until I'm like living right there and I get to be with all of them all the time. Like this is going to be so fucking fun. So I'm really excited. The actual process has been crazy. I'm moving. Okay. So I posted on my Instagram. I've realized the magic of like posting on Instagram. So like, for example, I wanted to go to Coachella. It was like Saturday of Coachella weekend 1, whatever. And I was like, fuck, I really want to go. Like I'm kind of having FOMO and I like want to go on Sunday. And so I posted like, does anyone have tickets? And I was able to get like an artist pass, which was crazy. And my family friend hooked up so fat with a place to stay and everything. And it was just kind of magical how that all worked. And so I was like, you know what? I'll try that again for finding a roommate for New York. So I posted like, I need a roommate in New York in August because my LA lease ends July 31st. So it kind of like works nicely. And I was like, I need a roommate in New York for August. Does anyone know anyone? Whatever. And one of my friends reached out, and she's like a friend that like I've been close, like I've never been really close with her, but we have a bunch of really close mutual friends. Like one of my best, Grant, you guys know him. You guys have met Grant. She's like best friends with Grant. And then I obviously love Grant. And so we've known each other through Grant. And I know she's great because of Grant. And I've spent plenty of time with her, and I think she's excellent. So she's moving from LA to New York in August. So it worked out perfectly. And we're like, great, we're just going to be roommates. And we just get along great. I think we both seem relatively easy to live with, like pretty chill. So it's going to work out really well. I'm really excited about that. So that's great because I have someone else sort of going, and she's similar to me. She's like, what the fuck am I doing? So every day I'm like, I get so excited for New York, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm moving to New York. Like it's happening. Like this is going to be amazing. Like Sex in the City, whatever. And then I have like about an hour after that, I have a panic. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing? I'm like, I think that I'm going to die if I move to New York. I truly do. It's very scary. I have a bunch of fears about New York. I'm like very scared of the subway. So that's like a big problem. But I used to take the subway all the time and be totally fine. I've noticed since COVID, I've been weird in big crowds. So I think that kind of has a part to do with it. But hopefully after I take the subway a few times, I'll be fine. And then I'm scared of elevators because I got stuck in an elevator at work and that spooked me. And so I just don't, you got to take a lot of elevators in New York, and you got to take them up to like high floors. It's not really like an option. So that's kind of spooky. And then I'm scared of heights. So like tall buildings, windows, scary. I don't even know, you guys. I don't know, like every part of me is like, why am I doing this? What the fuck? But then also I'm like, I want to do it so badly. And my therapist was like, you know what? There are going to be a lot of great exposures. Every day you're going to have a lot of exposure. This is a therapist's dream for someone who has like OCD and anxiety and fear of all these different things. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. So face your fears. Okay. That's what I'm doing moving to New York. Anyways, here, hold on one second. I need a sip of coffee. Much better. I was getting ahead of myself there. Moving to New York. Okay. So then we had to do the like street easy housing process. It was a fucking shit show. And everyone's like, oh my God, finding an apartment in New York is a shit show. Like, it's so hard, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really? Like, is it really that hard? No, it's really that hard. Like, Christina and I kept saying, it's like the hazing process for New York. Like, if you have to really want to live there to be able to like go through this process. And if you can get through this process, then okay, you get an apartment and you get to live in New York. But if you can't get through it, you don't get to live there. Because it's fucking, like, you have to really want it to be able to, like, go through it. It's just insane. Basically, it's like, there's Street Easy, which is like Zillow, like finding an apartment in LA, where it's like, okay, like, these are the apartments, this is how much they cost, blah, blah, blah. Look it up. You reach out to the brokers. So there's no, like, landlords don't directly list. They all have a broker. So you, like, have to reach out to the brokers, and the brokers are, like, usually pretty intense, pretty like snappy, which can be expected for New York. Like one of them, I called her, and I had been speaking with her for a bit, like trying to figure out a couple apartments she had. And I was like, hi, how are you? And like, I was like, hi, blank, whatever her name is. How are you? And she's like, I don't have time for chit chat, Jackie. All right, the unit's about to go. And I'm like, okay, cool. No, I'll go fuck myself too. I'm so sorry. It's very New York, very intense. These apartments are whack. Like, a lot of them like had like a second bedroom that doesn't have a window, or like they're like, yeah, well, like it still works as a bedroom, and like they can't fit they can't fit a couch, or it's like a 6th floor walk up. None of them have laundry. Forget about that. Like I remember we thought like we're gonna get an apartment, like we were like, we won't have laundry in unit, but we'll have laundry in the building. Absolutely not. We gave up on that very quickly. You go to a laundromat or you get a laundry service. Like there's no washing machine in the building. You are on your own for that. So that's good. And you're paying an arm and a leg. Like this is like what I'm paying. Like I have a really nice apartment. Okay, subtle flex. I have a really nice apartment in LA. I pay a lot for this really nice apartment in LA, relatively speaking. I'm going to be paying the same in New York. I'm going to get a shithole. Like, it's actually not a shithole. We found a great, okay, spoiler alert, we found a great place. But the places we were looking at were just ridiculous. And just things about them are crazy. Like, it's just weird. Like, it's like in one apartment, there's like a toilet with a door on like one side. And then if you go to like the other side of the living room, there's like another like quote unquote bathroom with a door that has the sink and the shower. So like the bathroom got like split in half. Like it's very, very weird. And so I'm like, what? You're going to like, people are over and you're watching TV. And so you go like take a shit in the toilet room and then you get up and walk across and go to the sink room to wash your, like, absolutely, like, what the fuck? This is bizarro. Who designed this? They'll be like, oh, like this room has a window, but the window is like 6 inches from the wall of the next building. So you don't get any light from the window. Like, it's just a window. I don't know. Like, it's kind of chaotic. There was one that like just didn't have an oven. It was like, oh, like we don't have an oven. Like, you don't need an oven. I'm like, okay, you're right. I didn't need an oven. I'm so sorry. I was going to pay literally my paycheck for this apartment, but you're right. I don't need an oven. I'll go fuck myself. Like, just ridiculous things like that. So we ended up finding, like, I'm trying to think what else happened. Oh, so then, and thank God, I have this family friend who she's a broker in New York and she's amazing and like totally helped us out with like vet all the places for us, like look at them, tell us what she thinks, like whatever, like give an opinion, make sure, look over the lease agreements, etc. And we had applied for like multiple apartments. So she said to me, she goes to me, sorry, I'm getting out of order. She had a unit available. She's like, yeah, but like just a heads up, it's like a 15% broker's fee. And I'm like, okay, like 15% broker's fee and like of 1 month's rent, like that's gonna be like whatever, $600 or $700. That sucks. Like that sucks, but like to get an apartment, like we'll pay the 6 or 7. So the tenants pay the broker's fee, even though the landlords are the one who hired the broker and the tenants aren't using a broker. So I'm like, that's kind of beat, but whatever. Like, if we're gonna have to pay $600 or $700 as a one-time fee, we'll do it. She's like, no, Jackie, it's 15% of the annual rent. That's like a $7,000 fee. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's a $7,000 one-time fee. Like, and we're looking at cheap apartments. Like, it's insane. So some apartments are no fee, but very few of them, and they're really shitty. Like the ones that are no fee are really shitty and really expensive for what they are. So you kind of have to accept that you're going to pay this broker fee. So we were like, fuck me, dude. So that sent us into a whole different bracket of apartments that we could look at. Because at first we were looking for ones where it was like, okay, we could afford this month to month. But now we had to account for, we have to be able to pay like whatever, X $1,000 broker's fee. And we don't really like have that money. So we have to like account for that in terms of like what our monthly rent would be. So our monthly rent had to completely go down and it just completely changed the game for what we were looking at. So that would like restarted the whole process all over again. And we had toured, and so then a lot of them, you need someone to tour in person and they go right away. It's not like I see it and like, oh, I'll come fly in and tour next week. Like, no, you see it, you tour that day, and someone signs that day or the following day. Like, someone's going to sign. So whether it's you or someone else, like, figure it out. So there were like, I'd sent my cousin to tour a couple for us. I sent my friend from work to tour for us. I sent my other friend from work to tour for us and like go and see the apartment and make sure like this apartment's real. This is what it looks like, whatever. Some of the landlords or some of the brokers are like, I'm like, oh, can you send a video? They're like, oh, we don't have a video. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like sending someone on like a blind chase, whatever, trying to find this apartment. They go to these open houses where there's like 100 people. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy. Everyone's like fighting over these apartments. And thank God you send people because you can actually like see what the building looks like. Like one of them, the building was so scary. It was the scariest building I'd ever seen. Like, so I've never seen that movie Us, but I've heard about it. And I've heard about like the like basement where they all like, they clone everyone. That like is what I imagined. Like this building would have been the perfect set for that. That's how I felt about this building. One of these buildings that we looked at. It was so disgusting. My cousin literally toured and he's like, He's like a 6'4" dude. And he's like, I don't feel safe in this building. Like, I need to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, honestly, I want you to get out of there too, because this is just really scary and we are not going to move there. We found, by the grace of God, we found an apartment. It was one of the ones with like didn't have a video up. It could have been a shit. We had given up. We basically decided our non-negotiable. We had like a list of non-negotiables prior to looking, and then we very quickly changed our list of non-negotiables. All we wanted was 2 bedrooms. Each bedroom has a window and can fit a queen size bed. We wanted a kitchen with an oven. We wanted a bathroom that was like a 1 bathroom that had everything in 1 bathroom. And I think that was it. We accepted, we were fine with 6th floor walk up. We were fine with no dishwasher. We were obviously fine with no laundry. We were fine with no space for a couch. We were fine with no space for like a dining table. I think those were our criteria by the end of the search. It was looking pretty grim. And we were going to have to pay all of our money that we had to our name in order to like secure this apartment, because you got to pay like security deposit, first month's rent, last month's rent, broker's fee, like you have to give all of your money away to get this apartment. And that was like what we were settling for. We found this apartment. My friend Sean, shout out Sean, love her, that I went to Norway with. So she's moving to New York too from LA. And she was in New York touring apartments for herself because she's going to live out in Brooklyn with a friend. And we're living in Manhattan. So I don't know if that's relevant to anyone, but I'm living in Manhattan. And which also made my search more expensive but I was like, if I'm doing New York, you know what? Like, I'm just going to fucking do it. Like, I'm going to be in the nitty gritty, the heart of it. And boy, oh boy, are we living in the heart of it. We found an apartment. Sean toured it for me. And it's a 4th floor walk up, which is fine. No laundry. It has a kitchen with space for a dining table, like a small, like 2-person dining table, which would be amazing. It doesn't have a dishwasher, but it has like a fridge, it has a sink, it has an oven. I think it has an oven. Honestly, at this point, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I fucking give up. Oh my God, I really hope it has an oven. Oh my God, it might not. Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if it has an oven. I'm gonna check on that after. Let me check right now. Actually, I'm a little stressed. It has an oven. Everyone relax. Phew. Wait. It has an oven, and then it has a separate living space with space for a couch and a coffee table and a TV. Like, luxury ? Luxury. Both bedrooms can barely fit queen beds, which is great. They have windows. We have a separate bathroom that's like a nice bathroom. It's cute pink tiling. Like, oh my God, adorable. How did they know? It's adorable. And it gets excellent sunlight. That's one of the things that we've noticed about the higher level units. They get really, really great sunlight. So it was just great. I love it. I'm really excited about it. I mean, I've never seen it. I'm going to find out. We signed a lease. It starts July 15th. I'm moving out July 21st. And I'm going to show up and I'm going to see what happens. What's great for my apartment here, my roommate's cousin. So my apartment, this lease goes month to month after it ends. After like 1 year, which is on July 31st. And my roommate wants to stay. And her cousin is moving in and taking my spot and buying my furniture off me, which is like a godsend. Like the most amazing thing ever. Oh my God. I feel so lucky. I'm so happy. So that makes like a world of a difference. I just have to like get rid of all my things, like all of my, like any like little things I don't want. And then I just got to ship everything else out. So that's all the stuff that I haven't started doing and that I should be doing today. But alas, I'm recording this episode. And you know what? I'm having a grand old time doing it. So that's my process of moving to New York so far. Gonna be crazy, gonna be fun, really excited. Oh, and my job, what's great is my company is headquartered in New York. So I can just switch my job right over. Half my team is in New York. I can work with them, continue working with the same clients, like whatever, keep everything the same. So that makes it so much easier that I don't have to like find a new job or do any of that. Like I can keep my job. I love my job. Those are pretty much my big things. Other things to look forward to this. Oh, I went to the Taylor Swift concert. Can we talk about Taylor Swift Speak Now Taylor's version? Came out last night. Ooh, kind of obsessed. I don't know. I have to like listen to it more to have more hot takes on it, but I think it's excellent. I love the vault songs. I went to the Eras tour with my friend Kristen. I do a whole episode on that. So just you wait for that episode. It's a great one. I went to Coachella, which was really fun. I actually just went up to like wine country outside San Francisco, with my family. And then my friend Kristen, she came. So that was super cute. And other than that, just been like hanging out, did some other interviews, which are so cool. Like we have some sick ass interviews coming up. You guys are going to be really excited. I am going to try to do a little bit more solo episodes this season just because I like doing them. I think that's the direction I want to take the show in, and only do interviews when I'm like obsessed with the guest. Like when I'm like, oh my God, like this guest, you guys have to hear them. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about the guests I have lined up for this season. So I'm really, really excited. I have no idea how long I've just spoken for. Could have been 10 minutes, could be 45. Literally don't know. But you guys know because there's a timestamp. Anyways, on that note, I'm going to start packing up my things, getting my little life together. First, I have to, you know what I have to do today? I have to empty out my car because I have to like figure out how to fucking sell it. How do you sell a car? I have no idea, but I have to get all my shit out of the car first. I know that's step one for selling the car, is getting my shit out of it and probably getting it washed. And then, because it's so gross. And then I'm going to like look on Carvana and like CarMax and call like the dealership or something. I don't know. So that's a process. So that's my day today. Really excited. Well, I'm also going to a Darty, and then I'm going to my friend's concert, and then I'm going out to dinner with other friends. So I actually have a very busy day today. And I slept in until 10 a.m., which is very late for me. So I don't know what's going on. Okay. On that note, I fucking love you guys. Get so excited for a great season. This is going to be really fun. And in theme of this episode, goodbye, LA. I'm sure I'll be back soon. I know I'll be back soon. I love you, LA. But it's time for me to go to New York. Bye. Did you laugh? I didn't.